Hello, hello, hello. Oh my God, I did something crazy. I probably have like 12 things open right now. I have no idea what I did. I wonder if people will make their way through here. Okay, at least people are making their way in. I have no idea what I did. I know that there's probably two shows open right now, and I'm still confused as to how that. Are they both live? That's interesting. I'm just waiting for someone to type something in the chat to let me know that they could hear me and that something is going on. I'm gonna get a link to give to Tom just in case he wants to come on. That would be great. Let me go ahead and get a link for that. I think that would be awesome. Trying to figure this out. Okay, you just see one show. That's great. That's great because that's all I'm trying to do. That makes me feel happy. And then I'm gonna go ahead and send Tom a link. I hope that that will work. If not, I'll just send the link in the chat. That's how I'll do that when he gets here. And if that happens, right, then it's all good. Then everything is all good. And thank you, Ray of Sunshine, for being here first. God bless you. Sorry for being late. I do want to give a special thanks to Sasquatch for. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people messaged me, but Sasquatch is always good at getting a hold of me, and so I appreciate that. So, good morning, everybody. How can you guys hear me? Is everything good? It's weird, like waking up and just jumping right into the show. That's always a weird feeling, but the way the Lord is I'm never not ready. I'm always ready. And I think God knows that I desperately want to do the right thing, you know. And at the very least, I'm gonna try to not inject too much of myself into things. I pray to only focus on His will, and not my own, because that's what I want. I mean, that's what I desperately want. I mean, I do want to feel good, right? I pray for that for myself, so that I could just focus on what God wants me to do. Because, like, out of everything, right? And I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I want to be known for how much I love God. I want that to be like, you know, the main thing people think about when they think of me is that Stephen is like completely sold out or bought into God. That's it. And it really is more than just salvation, right? Like, yeah, I mean, we think about things, right? Like, yeah, we want to be saved, right? So, oh no, no, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. And so, like, yeah, it is about salvation in a way where, right, where, um, of course, right, where it's we believe, right, to be saved, right? But even more than that, even if there was no salvation, right? And life was just like this, and um, there was still all these options left, right? I would still love God, I think. I think that even if I knew that I was going to be thrown in a lake of fire even after this, right? That um, that loving God is better than being involved with this wackiness. And so I think about that. I think about that. And I know it's kind of a weird topic, right? And it sounds dark, right? Because our fate, our future is much, much more than that, right? We we're promised like a kingdom. Like I just can't believe that there's gonna even be, I can't believe that there's gonna be um a place where we don't have to hurt anymore, or that we don't have to suffer. Hey Faith, this is my question to you, right? I know Ray's been here a little bit, but even if there was no like afterlife, right? Like let's say there's no if there was no salvation, would you still love God right now as opposed to being like involved with this wackiness out there? I think I would, even if there was no promise of a kingdom. I don't know. I think that like I feel like that's like I don't know. I feel like that's my purpose. I feel like I was made for that, right? Like as long as I'm doing that, I feel good. As long as I'm loving God, I feel like a human. I feel like what I am, a human being. I don't feel like a human being like not thinking that way. I feel like a scumbag when I'm out, like when I'm out there, right? Like say like back before I was saved, like just walking around, and even when I had like no nefarious thoughts for people, right? I like even if I was just living my life prior to knowing about God, right? Like I felt like such a scumbag, man. You know? Like I was that guy. If I had to pick what my personality was like, it's a long time ago. So let me, like kind of like a not quite like a David Spade, like probably probably like a little cooler than that, but like just I don't know, you could just tell like man, this guy's kind of grimy, like there's something about this guy that's just not right. And then as soon as well, when I joined the army, I think it changed, right? Because the idea of dying, right, entered my head, right? Like I'm not invincible, right? And so it was like, okay, well, I better, pick one of these, pick one of these afterlife situations. In that sense, it was more like insurance, right? Like obviously for the wrong reasons, right? And what's crazy is, like had I died at that point, right, would I have gotten lucky because I believed in Jesus, right? Or was that real? Or did God, did God, was that sanctified by God? Was that, um, I don't know. Because right now I feel way different than I did back then. What's up, guys? Oh man, I'm so happy to see you guys. I mean, if it wasn't for Sasquatch this morning, guys, I would have slept probably through this show. And not saying that it didn't feel good to be asleep, because it felt so good to be asleep, but it also felt good to wake up and not have it be like 7:45, right? Like, I mean, as much as it would have felt better to be asleep, it's not a good feeling for me in my stomach when it's like 7:45 and I know that I've let you all down. Yeah, Sasquatch is awesome. He like believe it or not, right? Out of everybody, um, Sasquatch has saved me by far the most amount of times from being late. By far, like it's like a 10-to-1 ratio. 10 times for Sasquatch for 1 time for everybody else. um, that's a good dude right there. You know, the show must go on, right? Like there's times, right, where I'll sleep an hour through it, right? Like like I'm usually not asleep more than an hour or two, right? So it's usually the worst it could be is like an hour or two in, right? And I'll wake up and I'll be like, no, man, this show's over. Like I'm like, did I do the show? Sometimes I'll trip like that, right? And I'll be like, okay, wait, did I do the show? And sometimes I did do the show and it's all good, but sometimes I didn't. And I'm like, do I want to even do it? But the show must go on. The show must go on. And I know that that's what's supposed to happen. And I'm gonna and trust me, I will be happy even though it's hard. And yeah, I could use a day off, right? And even Faith was saying, like, yeah, take a day off. Everyone will understand, right? And I know, right? I know everyone would, but trust me on this, right? When I'm in front of God, right, naked and afraid, right, for Judgment Day, um, uh, I'm gonna be glad that I didn't miss a show. That I'm gonna be glad that even though I was late, and it was like, I was gonna have two people in the chat that I did it because I think I just think it's gonna feel much better to know that I did the minimum, right? Because that's what it feels like, right? It's like even when I do my best, I feel like I've done the minimum, standard. Oh, Tom is here. This is gonna be good, man. See, the show is saved. Sasquatch saved me. He woke me up, and now Tom is here. It's all good. This is the cap on a good day. And I got all the good people in the chat. This is going to be good. All right. Let me read this one psalm real quick before I add Tom to the show. I lay down and slept, yet woke up in safety, for the Lord was watching over me. Psalm 3:5. That's beautiful. I don't even know if I remember reading that. I got to read Psalms again. All right, let me welcome Tom to the show. Hold on, I have to push the button. Hello, Tom. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hey ho, my brother. How you doing?
Man, I was sleeping, right? Like, I mean, sawing logs, man. And Sasquatch got a hold of me, and it was like 7:02, and I was like, "Oh, that ain't so bad. It's good. It's okay. I can still salvage this day." You know what I mean?
I hear you,
I'm
bro.
like, let me put it all together, man. So special thanks to Sasquatch again, but he's done that many, many times, woken me up uh, for the show. So welcome, Tom. Thank you for coming.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. So we'll be talking about today. I just got on, so I missed. I was in a deep game of solitaire, playing Grandmaster. I didn't realize the show had started. I had to win, bro.
So you're like a black belt solitaire.
I don't lose, baby. I don't lose.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, right? So when I first joined when I was in the army, it was from 99 to like end of '03, right? Like computers were like, just starting to kind of get good, the internet and all that stuff. And I was a administration specialist of 75 Hotel, right? And so I was always on a computer, right? And solitaire, and okay, it was solitaire, and then dominoes was just coming out. and so a lot of people were playing dominoes or solitaire, and I did get fairly good at solitaire, I'd have to say, you know.
Yeah, then
So
you can win every one just about, I think, you know.
I think it like there is a possibility to win. I got to figure out like some people. Maybe you figured that out. Like there's like a way or whatever, but I don't
I
know.
know I know in a single and double suit you can, because
Right?
I know, like in a single suit I won like 1,000 straight, and I went to the double suit and was like close to 1,000 straight. Then I
Oh
upgraded my,
wow!
hey,
See,
check it
I'm
out.
not that good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, so hey,
You've been obviously touched by the Lord, right?
hey, so check this out though. When I when I was almost at 1,000 straight with a two suit in solitaire, I upgraded my computer to Windows 10. It wiped everything out.
Oh my!
I lost it. So I was like, man,
Oh wow!
I
That
played a
sucks, man.
Grandmaster one.
Well, this is the good part, right? Knowing that you did that in front of God, right? On Judgment Day, He's gonna know that you had all those thousands straight,
He's gonna
you
ask me
know?
how come I wasn't working.
Right?
He's
Like,
like, "Oh, bro, you should have gave you all you want. You paying for work? I give it to you, and then you playing solitaire on me,
yeah.
sleeping on a job, bro. You know."
That's crazy. Like, as much as it sounds like we're talking nonsense, right? I do think about stuff like that. Like, all the time I've wasted and stuff, like, doing stuff or whatever. I think, well, yeah, what you think I could have been like, I don't want to be like, how it is like I don't know if that's a good scenario. I was going to mention a certain movie, but like you're just like, well, I could have gotten one more person or something, or I could have just spread the gospel to one more person. Like, do you think that there's going to be that amount of, because I wasted a lot of time doing stuff on the internet, like, I mean, I wasted a lot of time, like, I don't know, man. Self-serving myself, like just going out or whatever, hanging out with friends. Like,
I mean,
I'm,
I do think we'll all. I mean, we might lose some rewards and stuff over that. I mean, it's the
yeah, we can't be perfect,
society.
though.
No, and the society we've grown up in, we've never seen or known that lifestyle to be out there preaching and witnessing, and just being around a tight knit group of Christians that were on fire and filled with the Holy Ghost. I mean, I had that for like the first year I was saved, but after that, I've never found that again.
Yeah,
This life isn't how it was designed to be, you know?
and there's not that many great examples of people, right? For us to like, oh, that guy is like really doing, what he's supposed to for God. Like, there's not a lot of like, like the examples we had, right? Growing up, if you were led down that road, right? We're like pastors that had fame and fortune and like these fake pastors with all this stuff attached to it, right? They like almost as if they're like a celebrity, right? When that's the opposite of what we're supposed to be,
Right?
so I mean,
I mean,
I'm
but
always gonna wonder, like, why was it so weird? Like, what was the purpose of all this, and did I miss the point? You know?
yeah, I mean, that's a good question right there. I mean, I think God knew how everything was going to be. I mean, that's obviously why we got the book of Revelations. It will be fulfilled. For that to be fulfilled, we have to get to the time we're in, and now we're here witnessing it, right? I mean,
I'm almost in denial though, a little bit. Now that we're here, I'm like, oh yeah, no, is it really? Is this it? Like I think it is, and then I'm like, okay, it's gonna be the rapture tomorrow, right? And then I go, well, I don't know, man. Maybe it can go another few years, 10 years, maybe. I don't know. Then I start, asking my brother, so how about those Niners, man? What do we need for next year? Like I don't, my head doesn't know exactly where to dig into, right? Is this, should I sell out for the end right now? Is this it? Like, I think it is,
well,
but then something will tell me, well, maybe it'll go on another year or so
then
or
it
more.
might about a short period of time, but it isn't long off. It just, like I was telling my buddy, I was talking to my buddy Pat. We had him on the show once a long time ago.
Yeah,
Like
Pat.
on
I
the,
like Pat. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but like on the weekends, I do a lot of woodworking and crafting and stuff. So I don't watch no YouTube. I mean, I don't watch no TV, no nothing. Basically, I stay pretty busy, which I enjoy. And it's like I escape this reality. Then I come back to work on Monday, and we're chatting, and you're seeing stuff that's been going on in the world again, and you realize we are in this end time. The only way you can escape and not know what's going on is to really just hide yourself. I mean, and I think we have to do a little bit of both. I think we have to get away a little bit to give our mind some peace and quietness, but we also have to be looking for these signs and see what's going on around us because we have to be prepared 24/7.
Yeah, I mean
You
that's the
know?
whole thing is being prepared. Like if I could say, out of everything in the Bible, right, other than don't be deceived, right, and
Mhm.
love God and love your neighbor, right, other than those three things, being prepared is
Well,
like that number four thing, right? You know?
yeah, it's like the parable of the virgins. 5 had oil, 5 didn't. I mean, 5 were ready. They were prepared to have to, even if they had to wait a little longer. The other 5 weren't ready, right? And they turned away. They had to turn back, and they missed the marriage supper of the Lamb.
Well, see
You know,
that's what makes me worry, right? Okay, so this is where
don't
right,
worry,
right,
bro.
right, right. I'm not worried about like us, right? Because
Right.
I know how sold out we are, right? We're sold out for God. I'm bought in all the way.
That's
I can't. If there was more God stock to buy, I would buy it all, right?
right. Mhm.
But like, there's people in my life, right? That where Christians are like, since I've known them, right? Like they've always been outspoken Christian people. They believe in Jesus, right? And living their lives, right, as if like it's all good. Like, yeah, still living their life good, right? Taking care of their family, right? But still doing some shady stuff on the weekends or
Oh,
this
yeah.
and that, and I'm like, oh man, wouldn't the fruit of the spirit be there more, is it everybody's job to try to be? I mean, do you want to try to be as good as possible, or maybe there's like a group of people that are saved. It's just not apparent to me, and I'm
Right. There's
okay
a
with
lot of
that.
Christians like that. I believe that. There's a lot of Christians that are just scarcely slaves, like the guy on the cross, the thief on the cross, that have been
Yeah,
born again but have done nothing for Christ. I mean, you don't lose your salvation, but you don't get no rewards, no crowns. I think there is some type of a hierarchy in heaven, you know,
yeah.
and who doesn't want to be on the top?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like sometimes I think about that, right? And I've had people talk to me about that, and it's always uncomfortable, right? Because I'm like, I can't. I'm happy just if I get in, I'm happy, right? Like if I squeak in there, I will be happy because I know what I really deserve, right? I deserve to go in that lake, you know. But like I do hear from people like, oh yeah, you might have a little, it might bump up a little bit here or there, or whatever. I'm like, oh, that feels uncomfortable to even think about, right? Like, but maybe I don't know, like maybe we're getting prepared for that. Maybe that's what this is, like this next level of like being a truther and really knowing the temperature of things outside is real horrible. Maybe we are supposed to know this much about the world and we can handle it, and there is like a reward system being put in place. Who knows? I don't know, but I would probably do good works for no, I mean, I would do it for nothing, like I'm just happy to be included, to be honest, and I think the thing I want more than anything is just to meet God, Are you there? Oh no, am I in here? Can everybody still hear me? Oh no, what did I do? Let me know if you guys can still hear me. Oh no, what did I do? I'm good. Can you guys hear Tom? Okay, can you hear Tom? Oh, he said he'd be right back. Oh, okay. Well, right on. Right on. Uh, I didn't hear that. Yeah, that's probably working. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just happy just to squeak in. I just my main thing is that I just want to meet God. I want to I'm nervous to meet him, right? Because like I want him to be happy with me. Like it's I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like I'm just like it's almost like it's almost like being adopted, right? And you're meeting your birth parents or something. I would imagine it's like that, right? And you're like, wow, I can't wait to meet my real dad. And I hope that when he sees me that he likes me. That's what it feels like. And I feel like a little kid. Like I don't feel like a 40-year-old man. I feel like a little kid waiting to meet my dad. And I just want him to love me. And I want to be what he imagined me to be, or as close to it as possible. You know? Yeah, the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. That's right. That's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. Without the fear of the Lord, you can't have wisdom. That's right. Because this is why, right? And I've searched myself for that, right? Is because God God defines right and wrong, and that's really the only reason we even know right from wrong is because God has defined it in the first place, right? Like if we um, never had that, right, and we were just people here without God, and all this happened naturally, and we had to come up with some kind of a moral uh, level of like how we're going to exist in the common areas, there would be no morality. I mean, look at how eroded it is now. And that's with God starting out with, don't even lie, right? Like, if there was no rule to begin with, this place would be so degraded. I mean, we would all be in a pile somewhere. It would be horrible. It would be like, have you ever seen like shows like the worst prisons in the world or whatever, where these people got to fight for like a bucket of water. Like it'll be like that. It would be like that. And okay, so this is what's crazy, right? I don't know if you guys ever seen this, right? This thing called the Mouse Utopia. I think it was either Clutch or Camo. Somebody got me to see this thing about this Mouse Utopia, where they made this perfect environment for mice, right? I mean, they gave them all the food, all the best care, everything, right? The mice didn't have to work for any of it; they got it all for free, and all these mice like freaked out, man. Like even though there was enough room for all the mice to have their own like room or their own place to live, right? They all like packed into one spot, or they all like split up and like went into like no man's land, all this crazy stuff, right? Well, there's these areas, right, of the world where you could live where like people could live wherever they wanted in this like town, but it's like the most populated area in the world is like 1 square mile, and it had like millions of people in it, right? I mean, it was nasty, right? And they were building like houses on top of houses on top of houses. There's these people that worked. I mean, they worked hard, like maintenance people building more stuff onto it, and you know, it was insane. If you look at it's like the most populated area or something. It was like millions of people in a square mile or something, and it was just. I mean, it was just nasty. People on drugs, people, living at a standard with no law. I mean, it was a way for people to like if you lived in this area, you weren't under the law. and if you lived outside of the area, you have to act right. And everyone piled into that one area just to be sinful, man, to the maximum. And you got to imagine it being like a carpenter or something in one of these places, right, where you're constantly trying to build something onto something else and add a bathroom and or whatever, right? It's it's not like they were, yeah, you're right, like San Francisco, except it's not $1 million a square foot, in San Francisco, right? Yeah, it can be pretty hairy down there, right? But it's very expensive to live there. Well, no, this brave. It's not exactly like the perfect society, right? But it's like the opposite of that, right? Yeah, in the long run, being fearful is bad. Yeah, but these mice, man, like they were given everything, like all the food they wanted, all the exercise stuff, like everything was there. Hey
I'm back,
Tom,
bro.
welcome back.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
how'd you know I was back?
I could smell you, man.
I didn't
No, I'm
shower
just
this morning,
kidding.
so you just might, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, man. No, I was just telling them about the Mouse Utopia, man. Have you ever seen that?
No.
So they had this like perfect environment for mice, right? Like they started off with like 10 mice or something, and it had like 30 or 40 rooms, right? Like I mean, it had all the food, it had all the exercise equipment, all the best medical care, right? I mean, perfect utopia for mice, right? And these mice freaked out, man, because they didn't work for their food, they didn't have their purpose. It was like forced help on these mice, right? They didn't ask for it or anything, right? And so like they would all, like, instead of living in a separate, areas, right, where they would space out, they all packed into one spot, or they lived on their own on the top of the thing and not in any of the rooms. They just like hermits, some of them, like it was like they all freaked out, right? And so like this Mouse Utopia turned into like a nightmare. Every single time they tried to do it, it ended up in a nightmare. And so like I was telling them about, there's this I forget where this place is. It's in like either it's somewhere in Africa, right? Or it's somewhere like in South America. So like somewhere where it's like off the beaten path, right? Where like millions of people live in like a square mile. And it's not like these people aren't working, right? Like if you're a carpenter or something like that, you're always working, man. Like adding a room onto something, or adding a bathroom, or adding some kind of thing, right? Or electrical crap, right? Like they just keep building onto this thing, right? And people live in this, right? And it's nasty. I mean, just nasty, just to get away from the rules of the country, right? Like if you live in this 1 square mile, you could do what you want, be on drugs, whatever, and there's people packed into it. And I'm like, why is that? That people do this kind of stuff, or in all animals, it's like that. Is the point I was making. It's
Yeah, and
crazy.
I think I might have seen something similar to that. I don't know if it was the same video or not.
Yeah, the
It's been a
Mouse
while.
Utopia.
Yeah, but it's kind of like how people are too. I mean, God designed
Oh,
us to work.
dystopia.
Dystopia,
Sorry.
yeah. God designed us to work, and when we don't, I mean, I don't care if it's cleaning your house, whatever it may be. Nothing in the Bible says you have to work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you may only have to put in 2 hours a day, and that's your work for the day. Whether you're cleaning your apartment or but though it's kind of the same principle. Those who just lay on the couch, don't do anything, can't even clean their dishes, don't wash their clothes, little things like that. It's just um, kind of that mouse effect. You get
Yeah.
lazy. You don't. We're designed to hunt, to gather,
Yeah,
to
that's
toil.
exactly it. See, they real okay. So this should tell you people something, right? Every time they've tried to force help on a animal species or human beings or whatever, the society degrades. They force free help on them, right? And
Right.
that's how you break a society down. Every time that you break somebody's spirit, or that you treat somebody unfairly, right, for a long enough time, right, the people will rise up and get stronger and fight back
Hey,
every time, right? But if you force help on people, it will degrade your life. It'll degrade everybody.
yeah, are you know how you can have these chats pop up in the main window here?
Yeah.
Can you put that latest one from Cold Springs up there? That's a really what she said there is really, really awesome.
Yeah, when you take
Yeah.
a living being's purpose and you take away its exactly. Well, that's exactly what I was trying to explain to people with this show, right? As much as tired as I am, right? Like really the effort is in keeping in contact with everybody. But like it's as hard as it is, right? It's really, this is the purpose, right? Like it gives me purpose. Like if
Right,
I'm not
right.
doing it, I feel like a lazy bum, you know?
And this is your job. I mean, and you're working for the Lord right here. This,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, and you put in more hours than probably everybody on here. And I put in a
Yeah.
lot of hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
mean, yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to give myself a compliment, but I mean, like, I am like every waking hour I spend on this channel, you know,
right,
or
preaching
on
the
the people.
gospel. Yes.
Yeah.
That's work, bro. Like I say, you don't have to go to a factory or whatever, go build a house. I don't see that anywhere biblically what you have to do for a living as long as you're working for Christ,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But I think what she put up there, that's spot on, man.
Take away animals' purpose, and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's true, you know. I think that's true. I think what's happened, right, in society is that people have gotten their purpose kind of taken away because we become so dependent on each other. Because it used to be like we would be split up into pockets, right? Where like, you'd have one dressmaker, one, this person that like does the grain, and one person that does the farming, right? And everyone had kind of a job to do, right? Well, when you have a society like this, right, where I'm dependent, I don't know how to make shirts, right? So I'm dependent on the shirt store, right? I'm dependent on the food store. I'm dependent on the computer service place. I'm dependent on the phone place. Like there's no purpose in there for me, right?
Right.
Like the only purpose that I would have is just plug me into like an area where I do one part of one thing and I don't get to see the full product, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And so like okay, say like you go to work, you can see your job from start to finish, right? You get it, you work on it, and you're done with it. Boom, you know what your purpose is, what you do. There's people that like just put one part on one thing, right, all day long, and don't get to see that finished thing, like and how big their part of it is, it's they compartmentalize it so much to where you feel like you're nothing in this society,
Right.
and like like I know that my son, right, I was talking to him, right, because he's trying to start his real estate career, right, which the market's pretty good, but he's still working on it, right, but he's got a job too, right, in the meantime, which I'm proud of him for that, right, like hey, sometimes you're gonna have to work to get to where you build up your thing, right, that's part of it. And so like I asked him if he was going to work at Amazon because he has a job somewhere else right now, and he, because Amazon's paying a lot of money, he's like, no man, man, over there at Amazon, man, it's like they don't even give them bathroom breaks, none of that stuff, man, it's crazy over there,
That's
you
what I
know
hear.
and I'm like, how in America, right, is this even possible, man? Like you can't even get a bathroom break, you got to walk, or you have to carry around like a 2-liter bottle, man, that's gross, man.
And it's like the bathrooms are so far away, depending on where you're working in their plant, that by the time you get there, your break's over. Now you're off the clock. You're getting fined, suspended, laid off, fired. Yeah, I know. It's pathetic, man. It's all designed just to keep us slaves. I mean, we're a consumer nation, not a producer nation. I mean, it's sad. I mean, sad. You can't even go buy a dog snack anywhere without it being made in China. So we can't even make dog snacks. I mean, we make our own for our pets, but the average person doesn't.
We can't even make dog snacks. That's
Think
sad,
about it.
man.
Drywall. I mean, remember we're getting
Well,
all that poison drywall from China. I mean, really,
I,
we can't make drywall in the United States. We're building
well,
houses up to kazoo.
yeah, I remember one year, right? And I was either in the army or it was just a couple years before I was in. I think I was just barely in or something like that. I can't remember, but there was a 4th of July celebration, right? And our flag, right? The little flags were made in China.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, man. I'm like, what is
Uh,
going on here, dude? Like, why can't we get an American flag made in America? Like that says it all right there, you know?
right. We don't even can't even grow potatoes, and that me saying that was just for Cold Springs because she likes the way I say potato.
So oh, yeah, yeah.
But
It's
no,
only gold.
the American flags are made in China. That's oh my goodness,
Yeah, but it is what it is, man.
right? But thanks be to
Another
God, we're
day.
up out of here soon, bruv.
Well, I'll tell you what, like just looking outside right now and like feeling because like I like it in the wintertime, right? I'll open up I know it's a waste of energy, but I'll open up my window, my sliding glass door, and I'll put on my heater. So I am wasting some energy, but like I like that feel of the winter air, right, coming in. And in California, it's not that cold out. It's probably in the 50s, probably, but
And that's at
um,
night.
no, no, it's right in the morning, and so I'm feeling I'm feeling that breeze right. I'm like, man, it feels good today. Like like if I was younger and I didn't know what I know about the world, right? I mean, I think it would be a good day. Like I would just automatically, instinctively know that this is a good day. So I know that every day is made for us to find some good in it, and I
Yep.
know that God is still making good days for us. He still loves us, right? And we shouldn't lose sight of that just because we know, right? Especially this group, right? That we were hyper vigilant in seeking the truth, right? That now that we know what we know, right? It's still okay to take a little break from that, and
Hey,
smell the breeze, right?
when I came into work yesterday, it was 12 degrees. 12.
12 degrees. That's crazy. I remember when I was living in Ohio, right? Like when I finally was in weather, right? I didn't understand until I was in weather that you could die in. Like, oh, if I stayed out too long, I could die. I never was in that situation before. Like usually if you were outside in California, right, you would be okay no matter what. You could live outside permanently.
Hey,
But like
dude,
there's places where if you stayed out too long in the winter, you're gonna die.
it's like this. I lived in southern South Carolina for a couple of years,
Yeah,
and one time
me too.
there was a chance that it might snow. The whole town shut down. I was like, "Are
Right,
you kidding me? We get
right,
300 inches a year up where I'm from, and it shut
right.
because it might snow. The whole everything closed, shut down. Like what?
Hey, I'll tell you what, in South Carolina, man, there was nothing there but ants and sand, man. Ants and sand, and there's a few bars and some cab drivers. What a hole that place is, man. But I liked it. I liked Columbia, South Carolina. It was good.
Yeah, I was down in Beaufort. It's not too far from Georgia border, right on the coast over there.
Okay, it's not
And,
so
and,
bad.
and Faith was right. It wasn't 12 degrees. It was 13 degrees.
Oh, 13.
We
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to Faith to come up with that one with my Illuminati
See,
pup.
I know.
Oh, you guys are killing me.
I know. You guys play too much, man. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna I'm gonna round out. All right, I love you guys. Thank you, Tom, for coming on
You're
again.
welcome, man.
It
Peace
was
out, you
awesome,
guys.
man. And thanks again to Sasquatch for waking me up this morning. That was awesome too. Thank you for everyone for coming. Hey, Anti Venom. I don't know if I said hi to you yet, but hello. And I'll get a hold of you guys today so at some point. And praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. That's the most important thing, right? In the whole world. That's our way out of here, right? That's the way to get out.
And if people got
And
family and friends and that are going to be around for dinners and stuff the next few days, enjoy your family.
that's
Stand
right.
strong on God's word. Don't bow down to nothing. Let your light shine, man. If you got some dark family, you let your light shine and show them what it's all about to be godly.
That's right. And I'll be here for over the week, over the holidays. I'll be doing shows still. And so all glory to God, and pray for the children, and I'll see you guys tonight at 5 o'clock. See you
Peace
later,
out.
guys.